Okay, great. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this session, Saturdays for Sustainability Learning. And as all of you know, so this is a discussion forum where we discuss sustainability topics to get a holistic understanding of one new topic each week, or maybe a different aspect of the topic. So, that is what we try to do in this session. So, if you have a question, why or what is it? So this is nothing but mastermind group. I'll just explain in 1 minute. So it's a peer-to-peer mentoring, learning from each other, and co-learning and co-creating. So this is something interesting. If you find so, every week we connect on Saturday, and these are the four things that you can expect. So learning something new, or maybe getting to know about different aspects from people who have different geographic or educational or uh, completely different context of work. So you will get to learn from each other, networking with fellow professionals, learning and thought leadership. So this is something that we will try to explore, and all of your inputs and suggestions are always welcome. So two things which I feel are important in today's time is first is DIKW pyramid, data, information, knowledge, wisdom. We have more data, more information in today's time than we can possibly consume, but what we lack is the application of it. So that's what we try to do over here. So people who have experience, they can share their expertise, and we can learn from their experience as well. So this is first, and second, I feel that discussion is the best way of learning, where we ask the right questions, questions and answers is the best way to learn. So that is what we will do in this session also. And I would request everyone, you can share your insights, your experiences. There is no one as an expert in this session. So everyone is learner, everyone is expert over here. We all have our expertise, our specific learning that we had during our career. So we can share that, of course. So this is non-judgmental forum, and I would request your input, your insights during the session, throughout the session. Great. Just one thing, if you have joined through the calendar invite, that's great, because you will also get notification, and every week I update it to calendar. So if you have registered, that's great. So it's a one-time activity, free of cost. So if you haven't done, so please do so. Otherwise, we will just move ahead for today's discussion topic. So today we have a discussion topic which is effective sustainability transition plan for organization. So this is very debatable topic also, I would say. So what should be effective plan for the organization to transition as a sustainable organization? Or maybe if we talk about, let's say, net zero transition, or climate adaptation plan. So we can have multiple names, but in short, what we want to discuss today is, if any organization want to change, let's say, whatever they have done till this time, that's okay, that's the past. But if they want to become a sustainable organization and they really care about it, so what is the best way to approach it? What is the best way that they should do? So this is something, definitely this is not completely in my expertise, so I am also learner. But one thing is for sure, all of us can explore, can brainstorm on this topic, and we can come up with some solution. So I'll quickly share what are the questions and a few of the resources while going through this topic. So I could search, and I'll just quickly share that with you, and then we can open this for discussion. But meanwhile, you can also think about it. What would be your point? If one question is asked to you, what would be the best way to transition for any organization? And what would be your answer? And maybe you can keep your answer ready so that we can open it for discussion. All right, I'll quickly share a few resources which I came across, and I thought it is okay. Means we can at least learn something from it. So first resource I would share, and I hope you can see it on the screen. This is a PDF, and this is from USAID Assist project. This is for USA particularly. So maybe everything will not be applicable for entire world and for all the other organizations, every organization. That's not possible. But at least we can learn something what they want to say, and accordingly we can implement it, fine tune it. So this is a guide for developing sustainability and transition plans. This is a 2019 report. So there might be few changes Just we need to understand that it's 5 years old, so just to keep it in mind. Yeah. All right. Just few important things that I wanted to share. I'll just quickly highlight those. And yeah, so sustainability is important. Transition, what is mainstreaming? All right. So there are a few things. Yeah. So key elements of sustainability and transition. So they have defined it as in this way: human, institutional, financial, and governance. The step-by-step approach framework for sustainability transition. So in human, it would be maybe content skill or improvement skill, leadership skills. So human resource as a whole first have to improve, then institutional. So the group of people which form the organization as an institute. So maybe budgeting, planning, then the financial, and then the governance. So yes, Siddesh. Yes, of course, of course. Do you want to elaborate that point, Siddesh? So what is the purpose of organization and how it is
Uh,
aligned?
so I'm thinking a lot these days, there are this many organizations who exist, who, like, for example, when it comes to health products, right?
Mhm.
So I'm just debating this point with myself only, as to suppose you have health products, but you are delivering all your health products which are healthy, but in plastic packaging, right? So what is it that the purpose of the organization is? At one point, we are, the products are healthy for human beings. At the same time, the plastic packaging is causing damage to the planet. So where to draw the line? Such kind of questions come to mind.
Mm,
So when and also, what is the operational definition for sustainable organization? When we will call truly an organization sustainable? Such kind of questions need to be answered, before even proceeding. So that's what I thought.
agree, agree. And what you ask the question, let's say the product is good. And what about those products which are not good for the human
Yeah,
beings? For
yeah.
example, tobacco,
There are
yeah.
90% of those might be in the planet now.
Yeah,
99 maybe.
so
Yeah,
yeah. And I guess one of the example would be ITC, right? So Indian Tobacco Company, ITC,
yeah,
earlier, which used to be only a tobacco organization, tobacco company, and why other when they maybe at strategic level when they thought about it, so they need to diversify. And currently, uh, as a ITC, we visualize or we see a brand as a, let's say, they produce all kind of items, right? FMCG. So that's a great transition plan which we can see. So maybe this kind of at strategic level and at implementation, if all organizations could do, then we can say a sustainable organization. But that's a great question, Siddesh. So what is a sustainable organization? This is something we also want to get clarity in this session. So yeah, so I'll just quickly share some of the points and we can open it for discussion. Just see if you find something interesting and you want to bring it into discussion later on. Yes. So nothing but a PDCA cycle, plan, do, check, act, which is a quality improvement. So or Deming cycle, which is called as, so similar to that. So this is one case story. I'll just see if something is important from this which I can share. Evidence-based intervention. All right, so this was one. And the second thing which I found was navigating India's transition to sustainability reporting. But this PDF was more focusing on the BRSR report as per the SEBI. So this is more about BRSR reporting, not as such business point of it. So we will find some of the basic details of BRSR reporting. So it's a good document in the sense that we will get what is the BRSR and how it is done. So simple way and good illustrations, basic points are cleared in a nice infographic way. So this this is good resource for that. Most commonly reported material topics as per the BRSR report. And what I feel, when we talk about transition for any organization, so maybe this materiality assessment is at critical level. So if we understand these are the material topics, then what they can do. So first, they need to understand what is their position, what is their current status, and how they want to improve it. So maybe which can form a starting point for the organization to work on. Level of assurance conducted for BRSR. So this is good for BRSR reporting. How many organizations completed life cycle assessment, and what is the importance of life cycle assessment? Because we will get exactly where is the problem. What is causing the problem? So around 44% of the top 100 companies conducted their LCA. So that's a good point, I would say, to start with. All right. So this was second, and just one resource, one re- uh, website I wanted to share. I'll just quickly share that, and I found many useful links in this. Just a minute. I'm just sharing that also. Yeah. Now I hope you can see this Manifest Climate website, and where this is the article. What makes an effective climate transition plan? And this was relatively a recent one in this year itself, at the start of the year. Companies of all sizes need robust action plan to support their public climate commitment. These plans are called climate transition plan or climate action transition plan. And depending on which regulation, framework, or standard you are reporting, the requirement for what constitutes a transition plan can differ. But there are key universal elements that all climate transition plans need in order to be considered credible and effective. This is particularly important because stakeholders, investors in particular, are becoming more sophisticated in their ability to determine whether companies are serious or whether they are just greenwashing. Based on the guidance from major frameworks and standards, we have identified four key elements to a credible and effective corporate climate transition plan. So these are the four elements. First is embedded in business strategy and contains provisions for effective climate governance. So first is they should have in their strategy and in their governance. A second is based on good data and metrics driven. Third is proposes a realistic short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. So just having long-term goal is not enough, like 2050 or 2070, we will do this. But what exactly are the milestones, and how do we know that we are in the right track? So realistic short-term and mid-term goals are also required, and include provisions for reporting, monitoring, and accountability. So these are the four credible elements for the transition plan. And few of the examples they have given: the best practice to disclose corporate climate transition plans publicly, but not all companies do this yet. Here are some publicly disclosed climate transition action plans from some of the world's most recognizable brands. Not all of these follow best practice guidelines, but they can nonetheless be used as a source of inspiration. So these are some of the transition plans that they have given. So we can just check one, and we can see how it's done. Which one, if any one of you would like to see? Maybe Google? Just let me know if
Yeah, yeah.
anything is interested, because Google is the biggest organization out of this. And let's see.
what has happened with the big tech companies because of generative AI coming now? This plagiarism might not be applicable anymore because they have
Why?
integrated Gen AI in all of their products. So so this is going to be very difficult for them. They are breaking it like crazy. So that's a sad reality we are facing.
Sorry, Siddesh, I couldn't understand your point. Can you
So
please
basically,
clarify?
the idea of this plagiarism was before generative AI, that is your chat GPT and all came into existence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this chat GPT kind of, even now, if you see in our call, there are almost how many AI bots running? I don't know,
Two, I
one,
guess.
two, right? So all these bots or AI, chat GPT, Gemini, right? They run on data centers, which consume fossil fuels, right? So they burn carbon. So now
Mm-hmm.
what has happened? This pledges, 2030 pledges were done before this LLMs came into existence. So
Mm-hmm.
now once this came into existence, everyone ran behind them. So thinking it's like that typical tragedy of common scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where everyone wants to, because they feel that if they don't, someone else will and capitalize on it. And so now Google, Microsoft, everyone is integrating all generative AI in all their products.
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT
Right.
kind of chatbots in all their products. This is burning carbon. So and unless their data centers are truly carbon neutral, it's not your net zero. It's not going to be possible. And how much they are going to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they are saying now they are planning to go nuclear. So they are going to create their own data center, this energy. They are going to generate their own energy. That's what they are saying. But
Right.
we are moving in a very wrong direction
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to big tech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, got your point. Yeah, that's true. So, as per your point, so let's say we can predict that maybe this year or next year or in couple of years to come, we should be able to see this chat GPT or AI, impact of AI on their business. So they should highlight it, right? So that
Yeah,
is what you can expect.
let's hope. The problem is they're integrated in every product. So and most of the people are not aware of that. Digital is also has a physical footprint. We feel that
Mm-hmm.
digital means it doesn't have any footprint, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so uh, the awareness is very less. And if every product we are calling a chat gpt kind of uh, large language model, then it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be very take a heavy toll on the planet, because every query you put to those LLM also consume drinking water, because you have to also cool down the data center. So it's not just electricity, it's also water.
Mm-hmm.
So unless they come up with some radical technology, it's going to take a toll on the planet for sure.
Right. Agree. So hope so. Let's see what
So
happens and
I will just
how.
find if I can find a paper related to
Sure.
this, but there are lots of
Sure.
articles you can find. One
Mm-hmm.
minute.
Sure. Sure. That's great. Okay, all right. So we can see on this Google sustainability.google. So we can see what where the target and how are they. What is the current status? So maybe current for status for last year 2023. What we can see. So this is interesting. Get insights with AI. So this is also
Yeah, they are using a
incorporated.
yeah,
Yeah,
to get. Okay, so I
that's true.
shared that article, one of the articles from Financial
Okay.
Times.
Mm-hmm.
It's all almost jumped 50% because of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and AI for sustainability, they also have something on the website. And one more report was there for 2023. Our approach to enabling AI for sustainability.
If you can also open the article, it mentions that that
Mm-hmm.
2030 is at threat, the target that they have set.
Mm-hmm. Just a minute. I'm just opening it on screen. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What is it? Manage
manage,
cookies.
yeah, just ignore. Yeah.
Google emissions jumped nearly 50% over 5 years as AI use surges. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, you are not able to see the article. I am
Oh,
able to first, but I'm on my mobile, so I'm not on it.
mm-hmm. They are asking to subscribe to unlock this article. But yeah, thanks.
No,
So
I
I
will
guess
just read. I will just read the first line so that
sure, sure.
what I was
Mm-hmm.
saying. So it is
Mm-hmm.
saying that uh, tech giants' ambition of reaching net zero by 2030 under threat from power demands of artificial intelligence systems.
Mm-hmm.
So the Silicon Valley company's pollution amounted to 14.3 million tons of carbon equivalent to 2000 in 2023, a 48% increase from its 2019 baseline and a 13% rise since last year. And this is mostly due to the rise in AI. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big issue,
so
and
this is
maybe.
what I was talking about, that
Mm-hmm.
something comes up and again companies revert back to their old things because their business is at threat. So where your
Mm-hmm.
core business is in the frame of capitalisms, and it's very difficult for such companies to break from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right. And that's the perfect point, Siddesh, because while we talk about transition for sustainability or sustainable organization, so most of the organizations, what they did at the start, it is very easy to set long-term goals. So let's say we will do something in 2050 or 60 or just 30, 40 years down the line, because you are not answerable for it. Then someone else will come. Maybe we don't know whether that organization will remain in operation for next 15, 20 years or not. So this would be the one of the biggest question to start for today's discussion. Environmental stewardship, or as a planet, if we think about it at the global level, how do we ensure that all these organizations are doing their fair share, and what is sustainability transition, how organizations can take ownership, accountability for this transition. So this would be a big issue. Looking at what happened with, if we take the example of Bhopal gas tragedy, and in December itself, right, 2nd, 3rd December 1983 or 84, the Bhopal gas tragedy happened, and the Union Carbide, the organization which was the owner of this firm when where the accident happened. So somehow all this scenario is not that great. So organizations, they sell, and once it is sold, so it really becomes difficult to put blame on one person or one organization. So it becomes really big issue. And I know we have experts in this session who can shed more
but
light on this.
also,
But the topic is, yeah, yes, it
sorry,
is.
also, do we have any success story which we can talk about? Because
Mm-hmm,
there are a lot of
mm-hmm,
failures. So any
mm-hmm.
success story? Do we know
Yeah.
any company who has able to transition it really the way it
Mm-hmm,
should?
mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, there are few examples that I wanted to share. So maybe you have asked for some good case stories. So I'll definitely share one example. I guess the name is Flexiphone. I'll share that on screen also. Just a minute. Just let me know if you can see my screen. You can see the Google where
yes.
I'm searching, right? Yeah. Uh, I guess it's Flexiphone or not
We are
Flexiphone.
still
I
seeing
forgot
your
the.
other screen, the
Okay, okay, okay. Just
X map.
Fairphone. Oh, yeah, it's not Flexiphone. It's Fairphone.
Is it modular?
Yeah, modular
Yeah, I
phone.
heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is one of the example of maybe sustainable product. The reason being is this product is not made in a way that you just need to, let's say, use it and throw away. Currently, if let's say for all our mobiles, if we just want it to get repaired, it costs a lot, right? But this flexi phone, they have made the phone modular. So whatever, let's say one product is defunct, so you can just replace that one, and no need to, let's say, throw away the phone. So everything can be utilized, and whatever the products are or whatever the constituent elements are, so they will take back as well. And whatever system upgradation you want to do, so that can be done in the same phone itself. So this is one of the example of circular economy in action, and it's practically being done by this organization. So this is one example, I guess we can definitely share. That's a good uh, example.
From where is this company?
I guess it's from Finland. Let me just check.
Okay,
But definitely it's Europe, I guess.
okay.
Just a minute.
But it's a great
About us.
initiative actually.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And it's already working.
Yeah,
We are Fairphone, an electronics company from Amsterdam.
okay.
We are disrupting the industry by designing and manufacturing our devices differently. That's just fair. So this is one example. Second example is one bicycle organization. I'm not remembering that name, but I'll share that in our group. So
So
they have
before
also developed one bicycle. So that's also wonderful
no,
example.
before
Yes, Siddesh.
before moving on to that, I just wanted to say something relatable to this company.
Mhm,
So we sometimes don't see the benefits of a simple decision. Like just recently, European law passed a thing where every every mobile manufacturer and every device manufacturer should have a Type C charging point, right?
mhm,
So Apple fought initially a lot. They didn't want it to do that because their profit was around their own charging mechanism, right? So now you can use any kind of charger with your iPhone also. So some small steps can make a like huge difference, right? We should
yeah,
collect such case studies to talk about.
yes, definitely. And always it's the maximum leverage is always at the policy level or strategy level.
Yeah, from the
Whatever we do
government
in
side.
Yeah, whatever we do in individual level, so maybe that just to maybe enhance our agency, our capacity to influence people. But at the end, if we could tweak the policy, if we could tweak at the strategy level, maybe we are talking about organizational level or the country level or the state level, that would be the highest leverage point, and it will have the highest maximum potential to influence the
But
practical outcomes.
that's the reason all organizations are trying to tap into the politics, right? World over.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
they can tweak the policies according to their.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, this is one example, and we can see many more. Uh, but just the point is, what we wanted to discuss is, I'll just quickly share. So, if effective transition plan is there, so what are the challenges that we can see is maybe they don't know where exactly is the issue. So, data and measurement problem maybe where is the issue? Then financial considerations. How do we make sure that it is not getting lost in terms of return on investment, or it's not the financial prudent decision to invest in such kind of technology, because there is a risk, there is a challenge. Then supply chain complexity is one of the issues. How do we solve it? Technological limitations are there, regulatory uncertainty or regulatory push is there. That's a good point, I would say, for us. Consumer perception and demand is one thing, and internal capacity and expertise. So whether these people have the expertise for this transition, and how do we foster a culture of sustainability and encourage employee engagement. So these are some of the questions that we can have, and what are the possible solutions. So yeah, this session. This is something that I wanted to share. Now it's your turn. If you want to share anything or anything related to the topic, please. What is your view and what would be your answer if you want to effectively change the organization's way of working, maybe?
Is there a framework for evaluation for transition plan? I found any where common framework which every organization can use,
No,
like the
not as
ESG
such.
reporting. Yeah.
What I see, the ESG reporting itself is a good starting point, but only thing is when it is done with intent. So maybe if we just think about it as a reporting, publishing a report, then the entire thing is getting diluted. But if reporting is seen as such a opportunity to transition, then definitely that can be one of the best way. And whatever is in this sustainability reporting framework or standards, we are capturing everything. We know where we stand each year, whether we are improving or not, which are the material topics for us, what is our status. So if that is done in a great way, so I guess that is one thing definitely helpful for the organization. But it's not any common or single thing that they can do. At least I couldn't find in this limited time period, but there might be. We need to have a look at it. Yes. Anyone want to share anything regarding this topic, please?
Good evening. This is Ashok. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, Ashok, please. You're audible.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing would be like companies should change from the mindset of designing things which are use and throw. That is what I feel like every organization, the big corporates, everyone has this mindset that they design things use and throw. Maybe you take it from a pen. So the previous period, it was like the product can always be reused. It could be with your electronics, your TV, you can get it repaired. You can use it again and again and again. But with time, what they've done is now you buy a pen, you use it, you throw it. That could be from everything. Like you buy a milk packet, now the packet cover which you use, you just dispose it. And in some villages, we find like even the yeah,
Yes,
there's some
just a
kind of
minute, just start.
background.
Yeah, yeah. I have muted. Yeah,
Okay.
please continue.
Mm. Yeah, so if you take even, near the temples where you have these ponds and all, even those are filled with, so there's all milk packet, polythene and all. And if you take this big companies like cold drink and all, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, whatever, they, earlier it was glass bottles. Yeah, I'm not saying glass is sustainable or this and that all, but how much is ending up in the drains? So first thing is that this use and throw mindset should obviously change. Like it could be with people, it could be with their product, the way they try to manipulate the people through advertising. Something you use it, throw it, that has greater value. And to be surprised, I was reading like US having 34 crores of population is the second highest greenhouse gas emitter. So it is not so how much they are throwing out? There is no value for the product which you're producing. They want to make money out of it. They want to design it. Every time Apple phone, every time they manufacture it, the amount, I was reading article earlier. So the amount of pollution, the amount of natural resources, water, this, that, and all, it is huge. So that mindset has to change. And that will come only when government has to strictly impose saying that no product should be use and throw.
Perfect.
So accordingly, people will change. People will change based on the norms. Like our government said Swachh Bharat, then people started like, okay, we should be clean, we should start segregation. This is all like people obviously will change because when I was a kid, like you wanted to buy some idli or something, you take your own box. You don't go there and say pack it for me and they put it in a polythene and all.
Mm-hmm.
Even nowadays, if you see, even today also, you take some South Indian restaurants, they serve you in a banana leaf. Now this banana
Right.
leaf, it is, I mean, completely like it is eco-friendly, and you don't have any issues with it. So this
And it's good for
entire
health,
chain
actually.
cycle which was there,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not only health-wise, there are many aspects which are affecting us. I
Yeah.
mean, there are many things. What they've done is they've broken the backbone of this entire system from the farmer to the market. There was a system where it used to come. Now, if in Mumbai, if I want to go and buy a banana leaf, except on a festival, I don't get it in another season, even to have lunch or dinner or something on a leaf. So these people have started marketing products in such a fashion that everything has to like stay for longer period, but use it and throw it out.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use it and throw it out, but that should be in fashion which is natural. Only natural
Right.
things can be used and thrown out. Rest all which are
Mm-hmm.
not natural should last for a longer period, especially any electronic set. I mean, you take your landline phones which were earlier, you could change it, you can make any changes you want, again you can repair it when the issue is solved. You could use like I have seen people using Nokia phones for 10 years, the same original phone with initial days. Nowadays, after 1 year, 1.5 year, you won't be able to use that phone. Either it is outdated or either it is damaged. The amount of, I mean, my personal view on it, like I have like, I mean, I used like in the last 10 years, I used 6 phones. Why should I go for so many phones? I mean, it is only that the company wants to make money.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That mindset, that management thinking should change.
Right. Right. Right.
That values should change.
Agree. Agree.
This is my
And
opinion.
agree. 100%. And just wanted to share in one sentence. So whatever you told, so that is the basics of circular economy. So what you talked about, plan obsolescence, organizations want your product to expire in a particular date because they want to sell you again, recurring selling. So plan obsolescence is something we need to take care of, or extended producer responsibility is there. And the beauty of circular economy is in that we have two kind of uh, components in a product, technical and organic. So technical component should be recycled again and again, and organic should go to the nature. That's how it can get recycled, the perfect recycling. Otherwise, we have the issue. So that's the wonderful thing. But unfortunately, what we see is circular economy when we think about it. So generally, people think about only waste management. So at the end of the cycle, so it should not be in that way. Circular economy, if we want to implement, that should be in design phase itself. So how exactly we produce the product and what we do about the waste and the entire thing. So that's a great insight. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ashok. Thank
Yeah, I mean, sorry to interrupt you. So when I had this
you.
subject, so what it was saying is, so I was like
Mhm,
surprised, like why so many products are coming up. I mean, in a very short period. So how
mhm.
they actually justified it as saying that, I mean, so new designs when technology is growing so fast, you design something and you put it up in the market. By that time, another product is coming in, which is not true. There is no that, I mean, great changes in technology. If you see about, I mean, automobile industry, being a mechanical engineer, I see the same kind of combustion engines. There's no change. Like which
Right,
were in 40s, which were designed in 40s, it is the same on the same principle. I mean, whoever
right,
thinks about these things, no, so nothing has changed. They are running on the same things. It is only that they make
right,
you, uh, wherever they tell you, no, they show you that, no, technology has advanced a lot. No, technology has not advanced a lot. The thing is that I mean, we are being shown things in a fashion where like, we are utilizing, we have made a great stride. That's not the case. People who
mm,
understand the nitty-gritties of the actual things, they'll know like where we have lost and what things have gone bad.
yeah, agree. And regarding
Yeah.
combustion engines also means what you talked about. So there also there is a fascinating story of how leaded gasoline was used in 1920s, and even organization as General Motors, they knew that lead is poisonous to health, and still across the world till 1990s 2000 the leaded gasoline was used to avoid knocking. One small technical issue of IC, internal combustion engines, and still it was used, causing so many people health issues. So this is a classic sustainability, maybe violation of the principles. But yeah, because of lack of evidence or lack of general awareness, so that still happened.
Yeah. I just want to add to Mr. Ashok what you were saying, Amol here. So, see, if you see our Indian culture, na, we were more sustainable earlier. If you see our habits, as you were saying, eating on the banana leaf and reusing the things, or maybe earlier the elder son clothes were used by the younger son maybe for 5 to 10 years. Okay, so we were more sustainable, and in last 20 years now everything has changed. We were following the Western culture or something like that. So obviously the purchasing power of the people also increased day by day, and all these online Flipkarts and Amazon have come. So without any requirement also we are purchasing so many things, or maybe we are going in some shopping mall or DMarts something. So uh, suppose we have a list of 5 items, but we end up bringing maybe 7 or 10 items with us. Okay,
Mhm.
so we have to change. We were sustainable actually, but we have changed ourselves. Okay, and similarly, when I see implementation of sustainability practices in the organization also, okay, now the BRSR reports are there, mandatory for the industries to be report. When we see the level of awareness, only few people, those who are involved actually in this BRSR reporting, they are only serious about the data or whatever it is. Okay, so level of awareness among the entire organization has to increase. That is also very much important. This will definitely drive you to achieve the targets. People have taken targets, maybe 2030, 2050 net zero. But if you see, as Dhananjay was saying, that we don't know whether the organization will sustain also for after some years. Okay. So, short term also, people should realize, considering the greenhouse effect, what we should do, and leadership, team involvement in these practices is very much important. It's like a definitely it's a top to down approach we should have, but still I feel that the level of awareness is very less. Okay, only for this BRS report, some people, I don't know in other organizations, but still I feel overall it's too less. We have to come out of it. Okay, then only we can have sustainable practices all over. Because one case I will tell you, a simple thing I was telling to my purchase department. Okay, that our PP suppliers who are supplying PP to us, okay, tell them that they should not use plastic. Okay, so after 9 months of my personal struggle, that has stopped. Okay, so they themselves did not felt that no, this has to be initiated. Okay, so sometimes we are also helpless. Okay, this is just one example. So I have many examples like this. Okay, so things should come from everybody. In fact, we were more sustainable considering our Indian culture. Everybody knows what is sustainability if you see
Correct,
our childhood. Okay,
correct,
but it's really sorry to say we have only changed. We have forget our roots actually. Okay,
correct, correct. Agree,
okay.
agree.
Thank you.
And this is always been India's problem. So whatever is coming
Yeah,
from
yeah,
West, that's good,
yeah,
and whatever we have, we don't value it. Right from the times of Swami Vivekananda, so who was in India, but when he gone to West,
yeah,
delivered lectures over there, And then we got to know, all India got to know that, okay, so this is something that is really valuable because Western people have applauded or they value it.
Yes.
So it's been
Yeah.
always there, and we should break it. So
Yes.
ours
Yes. Yes.
should be the last generation to take
Yeah.
any word coming from West as it is.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Having our own brain, having our own analysis, checking whether it is applicable for our specific situation scenario or not, and then accepting or rejecting. So we are not saying that everything comes from West is bad also. So this is not the narrative. But whatever comes,
Yeah.
we should just check it whether it is really applicable for us or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Definitely.
one more thing, just
Yeah.
with this topic.
Yeah.
So you all of us might have seen that what is that sunscreen lotion which protects our skin from there is some term which protects our skin from some rays of sun. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
SF2 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
UV
if
rays,
SPF,
any
SPF, SPF.
ultraviolet rays.
SPF,
SPF.
yes, yes,
SPF.
SPF.
Yeah.
SPFS, this and that, there is some number and all. So actually in India and especially the skin type we have, we don't require that kind of creams
Absolutely.
actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but somehow the Western people whose melanin is low in their skin, so they require it
Mm.
to protect their skin from cancer. But in India,
Yeah.
most of people don't require it, but still we consume it. First thing, and second thing, the glass windows, or you might have seen many buildings, they have glass facade, right?
Yeah.
Which traps greenhouse gas actually, which traps heat, and we again put up the AC to cool it down. So this is absolutely waste of energy and just copying it for the sake of aesthetics, or it is looking nice over there and that's why we want to copy it. So it's really it's a big concern. So what I would say, I highly uh, agree with you on this point. So awareness, education, yeah,
Because I think, as you said, now regarding this glass, cladding
mm,
glasses, right? You were saying
right,
building cladding
right,
glasses. So there
right,
was actually the same concern like 6 7 years back in, I think, UAE or Dubai country as a country. There, I think they did some changes
mm,
because they realized that it's becoming hotter and hotter unnecessary, and they are utilizing more air conditioners.
right. Yes. So it's
Yeah.
high requirement for all of us. Maybe leadership, accountability, and awareness and stakeholder involvement is very important. So, what exactly we need to copy, at least copy with uh, some insight, maybe some critical inquiry, and then if we can copy that, that's absolutely okay. But awareness and stakeholder involvement is something that I also feel which should be the first priority for any organization. Yeah. What about the
Every
other? Please.
organization has, yeah,
Yes,
every
yes, please.
organization has some values like HR
Mm,
values and all. So environment and sustainability also should be part of the value. That is a commitment where the management comes in. Like when you say that integrity and you say a lot of things HR when they come up, no, like whenever you join an organization. So
right.
this should also be part of the value. So when it is part of
Mm,
the value, only things will change. And then many products are like companies market in such a fashion key. It is not the people. When they change your mindset in such a fashion, you have to buy it. Either
right.
you buy it or you, I mean, you're losing something. The
Right.
marketing pitch, how they create. If you ever attend a sales marketing pitch kind of session, no, they tell you it is now
Yeah.
or never. They, at any
Right.
cost, they want to sell it and push it to you. So that
Right.
kind of mindset has to change. Like what is actually needed, what is not needed. So now the problem where I see even in villages, no, now
Mm-hmm.
people who are educated, they started realizing. But the,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the basic people who are, I mean, farmers and all, no,
Mm-hmm.
their mindset has changed a lot. They feel that I put like lot of chemical in my farm, I get a good yield. Now someone who's not using that chemical is a fool. So
Mm.
mindsets
Right.
have
Right.
been
That's
changed in
there.
a such a fashion. Now you get milk. I mean, milk. Every
Right.
cow buffalo, everything is injected with injection. Like they have that,
Right.
I do not remember the chemical name and all. So they inject because they are not able to feed them. Now you get inject them, then you get milk.
Yeah, I have also
So
seen
those
that.
values like
Steroids. Yeah.
so. I mean, milk, which is part of I mean culture, like Indians, it is like no house should there should be no house without a cow or cow or a buffalo. That was the I mean older tradition kind of style. So everyone should have milk and curd and all. It is, and in even in psychology, when we were, I mean, I was attending some psychology classes. They said like
Mm.
certain kind of psychological issues come with like a genetic, and certain
Mhm.
are like when you're not, I mean, the child is not being given right proper kind of food and all, nutrition, everything. So that also affects. So earlier generations, whatever whether they had other things or not, they had this milk, curd, then ghee, everything was there always. So that
At
used to
least air, water,
supplement.
and
So I was,
food. Yeah,
yeah,
that was
I
good.
mean, I was listening to one podcast, which and one of this guy like who is from 90s and all.
Mm.
So he was like Mr. World and everything. He even competed in there is Mr. Universe also. So he was part
Mhm.
of that. So he was saying like I never like I didn't take any supplements and all. I used to eat morning curd, half kg curd with this good jo bolte hai na, the which is made of sugar cane. That was the thing,
Right.
and I used to run for 15 kilometers. Then I used to do push-ups and all, which was a regular thing. So
Mm.
these things were I never had anything other than this, the regular rotis and all. I never used any supplements, this, that, and all. So I never knew anything about that. And this guy was like on the podcast they were showing telling. So he had like 8 times he was Mr. Asia. So someone like Mr. Asia is not easy task in like 90s and all. No one even thought like someone could go up to that point. So he was Mr.
Right.
India, then Mr. Asia. So the lifestyle, the food, kind of everything is got affected. Today, even kids have like issues with food and all. You don't get the
Yeah.
right everything. Everything is being affected. It is not that just the industry or something which they're gaining money. The entire society is getting affected. Everything. Like, for example, Western culture, they have like you, I mean, any if you work with any American boss, they'll have a working lunch, or even if they want to spend something, they order pizzas. Okay, how
Right.
good is how good are pizzas for us? So we never
Yeah.
think of instead of I mean, when we go to the States, we are eating their food, it is fine. But when they come over here, we should make them understand and follow our food. So these
Right.
are all values and all, no? Mind like you're in this country, you respect over here, you work in this fashion. That should be part of the value of the company.
Right.
Now, inclusion and all is fine, but
Mhm.
inclusion comes only with like if you're able to understand the culture of the I mean that particular country, and that is why many companies have failed in India. They have worked very well in other places. I was reading that article where it clearly was
Mhm.
saying like what works in other countries does not work in India. So you have
Right.
different cultures, and entire Europe is like it is one template. Everywhere it is
Right.
works the same. India, that
Right.
is not the case. Every state is different. The
Yeah.
entire population of UK is 6.5 crores or 7 crores. Okay, which is I mean, if you take the entire Andhra Pradesh, I mean Telangana and Andhra is like 7.5 crores.
Yeah.
So now someone who is 6.5 crores, we follow them, and people we are 7.5 crores, and we never get our like. So obviously things have to change. So things have to work. That's what I mean. Like even now, I mean, Jai Shankar or even Prime Minister, everything they're trying to turn that our value should be also given importance.
Right.
Until that does not change, and until we don't put our step forward, which is now slowly taking place, these things won't change. Now India is saying like
Right.
we have to be sustainable. We will be using solar. We will be getting into electrical because government is pushing that we want to be the best. Value system, everything. It should be Indian. It is not about religion. It is not about other things. It should be Indian. So whatever
right,
was designed was like it is based on this land culture. This period you be stay like this. You stay like this. You stay like this. You work like this. You do this way because that suits according to the place, according to the genes, your health, everything matches. So we have to be in rhythm with the nature.
right,
So you have to follow, get into that if you want to be sustainable. So basically, it is the values we have to respect. How, like, I mean, they whenever you start a building, you do boom puja. So people should understand what are we doing, what is there in it. So you're
right,
saying that, okay, I'm using this land. Please forgive me. Like I'll try to do something good for you. So that way, that kind of inner feeling, whether it has life or not, whether it does not have life, is a secondary thing. But they have created a value system inside, saying that you have to respect this. That has to come back.
right. And whatever you said, it's absolutely valid points, all the points. Just one thing I wanted to share, what you told, so appreciate what is good with us. So at least we should know that this is something that we are doing good. And if we apply it to the organization, so this is one approach called as appreciative inquiry. So generally, what we tend to do, for any organization or for any person, we try to identify where we are doing wrong or where we are doing, let's say, less. For student also, what we do in schooling is, if a student is A plus in all the subjects, we will identify where it is weak and we will try to counsel him or support him in that. Appreciative inquiry talks about in an opposite way. So if someone is doing good in something, so identify that, foster, help that person or the organization to improve on that, so that at least we will not lose that thing. And after that, systematically you can also motivate that person to look into the other part as well. So I guess it also applies for organizations as well. Appreciative inquiry, what works for them and how do we ensure that we can support that, so that it will grow in future. Yes, and we have completed 1 hour, almost 1 hour. So anybody who would like to share your insights, if you haven't heard, you please, this is your forum. Or again, if I want to ask the same question, so if any organization want to transition themselves, so what would be your answer? Whatever we discuss, you can just tell us if that is something that you think, or if there is anything else, please do let us know. Final opportunity, last last request, if anybody want to share anything that you want to share. All right, so I'll take that as a no then, and we can stop here then. So just to
Yeah.
summarize, yes, Amol, you want to say something?
No, no, just I was
Okay.
telling, just please share the document which you shared earlier during the start of the
Yeah,
video.
sure,
Okay,
sure, sure,
your
sure,
transition phase and the
sure.
Google document especially.
Yeah, I'll share that. Yes,
Yeah, thank you.
definitely. Yes, yeah. So if anybody want to share, you're always welcome. I'll just summarize what I gain from this session. So first thing is, possible solutions for this transition is definitely it has to come. What I feel is it should be bottom up and at the same time top down. Top down in a sense that the leadership's accountability, their role, and how leadership is taking seriously for all these. Let's say if we talk about ESG reporting, how we can ensure that this one activity is also raising awareness and all stakeholders are involved, and that's how bottom up solutions come up in the system. It gets fostered, and the culture is collective consciousness, collective understanding is developed in the organization uh, regarding values. And I always find values are good for all the organizations. What happens is in action. How do we make sure that it is practical and practically done? And how do we monitor that? So that is something that if leadership top down and bottom up with people's stakeholders involvement, so I guess that can be done. And we touched upon many points like circular economy or plan obsolescence. In short, how the business philosophy is and how they are earning their revenue. So if the organization want to sustain or want to shift their operations, want to be a sustainable organization, so definitely they want to work on this, all the points, and how do they ensure that they have minimum negative impact on the environment, and how they can ensure that they are doing good for society and their people. So it's not a what we started with the session. So whether sustainable organization can be any benchmark or anything. So what I feel is sustainable organization, it's always a continuous journey. How do we improve from your current state? And if organizations are having their BRSR or ESG reporting and they are benchmarking themselves, improving every year, how do they minimize their negative impact? How they improve the quality of life, quality of overall quality for all of the people and environment. So that is something I guess would be a great thing to see. Yeah, so this is something that I could get from this session. Thank you so much, everyone, for your valuable inputs and insights. This really made the session a lot more valuable. Thank you so much.
So thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhananjay.
Just
Thank you.
one
great.
minute, like, sorry to
Yes,
interrupt. So I was going through this one article, ESG guidebook and Ready Corner for Board of Directors, which is from CIN and PwC. I felt it is good. And I'll share it in the group. And it was nice. They covered everything.
perfect, perfect, perfect. Please share. I'll add it in the YouTube description as well, and you're already sharing it in WhatsApp group. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Yes.
perfect,
Thank you.
perfect. Chaliye, thank you everyone. Have a great weekend. Good night.